All right, let's start 9-4 for geometry. This is page 406 in the book. I just want us to look at this little graph real quick. The red shape is a parabola. We learned about parabolas in algebra. The parabola has a vertex, and the vertex is the turnaround point. In this case, it's the origin. And if you go the same amount above and below the vertex, there are two very important parts of a parabola. You have this point up here, which is called the focus, and then down here, the line that goes through that point is called the directrix. What's really neat about the focus and the directrix is that any point on the parabola is the same distance from the focus as it is from the directrix. Like if we look at this point up here, this distance and this distance are the same. Same thing over here in the negative. This distance and this distance are the same. All right, let's go to the written notes now. Title it 9-4. Parabolas in the coordinate plane. And let's kind of make just a quick sketch similar to what we just saw in the textbook. We'll make a parabola, and here is going to be the vertex. The vertex is an x, y point. In this case, it'll be the origin. And then pick a point the same distance to the right and the left, just to hopefully get your parabola to be fairly symmetrical. Now, if you did it like mine and you used notebook paper, this one line up will be another point, and that point is called the focus. And then the same distance below it will be a line, and the line is going to be called the directrix. Let's check on the spelling there. I think it's R-I-X. And now, as I stated when I had the book up there, the distance from any point on this parabola to its focus should be the same as the distance to its vertex. So this distance should be the same as this distance, assuming that I have the vertex and the directrix in the right place, the focus, the vertex, and the directrix. There is a general form for a parabola that's y minus k equals 1 over 4p x minus h squared. And in this case, the hk is the vertex. And the p is the distance from the focus to the vertex. This distance right here. Now, since the focus is the same distance away as the directrix, it's also equal to this. All right, let's do an example. We're wanting to write the equation of the parabola that has a focus of 0, 4 and a directrix of y equals negative 4. Well, in order to do this, we need to figure out what the vertex is. Now, if you were to think about it, we can just do a real quick sketch here. If the focus is 0, 4, it's going to be right here somewhere. And if the directrix is y equals negative 4, it would be down here. Now, these are both the same distance away from the vertex. And since this is 4 up and this is 4 down, right here is the vertex, which happens to be at the origin. Now, the equation, remember this is HK, would be y minus 0 equals 1 over 4p. P is the distance from the focus to the vertex. In other words, this distance right here, and that's 4 because it's 4 up. And then x minus the h squared. So there's your equation. Y equals 1/16 x squared. So let's do example 2. And we're going to have a focus this time of 5, 1 with a directrix of y equals negative 5. Okay, so in order to use that formula, we need the vertex and we need to figure out what P is. Okay, doing a real quick sketch. To me, this always helps out. 5, 1 would be right here. That's the focus. And then the directrix of y equals negative 5 would be down here. The vertex is halfway between. So this is 1 unit up and 5 units down. In other words, 6 units. So the vertex has to be exactly in the middle, 3 units here and 3 units here, making this still has the same x value of 5, but the y coordinate is negative 2. So now I have my vertex. We also just figured out the p, that's this distance, which is 3. Now I have all the information and I'm ready to put it into the formula. So remember, this is HK, so y minus negative 2 equals 1 over 4 times p, parentheses, x minus 5 squared. And let's just make that look a little prettier. Well, the p, by the way, was a 3. I should have put the 3 in here. 4 times 3 is 12, so 1/12. The only other thing we would need to do is we should have the y isolated, so let's subtract the 2 to both sides. So my final answer is 1/12 x minus 5 squared, and then minus 2. So I would say that my biggest piece of advice to you is to slow down, clearly mark things that you're using. Just be real careful for careless errors. Try example 3. So on this one, I want you to use a focus of 4, 0 and a directrix of y equals negative 4. Now, to write the equation for the parabola, you're going to need to figure out the vertex and the p. Go ahead and pause the video while you try that. Okay, so if your focus is 4, 0, it would be like right here. And if the directrix is y equals negative 4, it would be down here. So you should be able to see that those are 4 apart. So your vertex would be right in the middle, or right here. So that vertex is still on 4, but it has to go to the negative 2. That way it's 2 this way and 2 this way. So now I've figured out the p is 2, 2 above and 2 below the vertex, and that the vertex is 4, negative 2. I have all the pieces to the puzzle, and I'm now ready to write the equation. So you would have your y minus negative 2, 1 over 4 times 2 with an x minus 4 squared. Let's simplify that down. And we can just leave it like that, or if you want to, you can bring the -2 to both sides. Okay, now I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to give you the equation, and from the equation, you need to find all the pieces. Let's start off with y equals 1/8 x squared. Your mission is to find the vertex, the P, the focus, and the directrix. Now, the vertex on this one is the origin because you're not adding or subtracting to the x values. This term right here is your 1/4p. So can you see that the p would have to be 2? Yes, you can cross multiply 4p equals 8 and get the 2 that way. Now, let's make some sense of what's going on. Again, I think a little sketch helps. Here's the vertex. 2 above it is the focus. 2 below it is the directrix. So the directrix is y equals -2, while the focus is an x of 0 and a y of +2. All right, try example 5. See if you can do the same thing on this one. Y minus 6 equals 1/4 x minus 1 squared. Find all 4 of those pieces. Pause the video while you do that. Okay, it's easiest to start with the vertex. So the vertex would have a y of 6 and an x of 1, so 1/6. 1/4 is the 1/4p term. So can you see that the 4p equals 4? So you would just have a p of 1. So the focus is 1 above the 1/6, therefore it's 1/7. And the directrix is the line 1 below the 6, so y equals 5. Let's do 2 more. Same information, just asking it in a little bit different format. For example 6, please give me the equation of a parabola with the focus located at 6, 2, and the vertex located at 6, -4. So for the formula, we need the vertex, I got it, and you need the p. Easy enough to find. A quick sketch might help you out. If your vertex is on 6, -4, and your focus is on 6, +2, remember the p is the distance right here between the focus and the vertex. So this is 4 down and 2 up, so a total distance of 6. Your p is 6. Ready to put it into the equation. Remember, these are the 2 pieces you need. Don't accidentally use the focus. So y minus -4 equals 1/4 times p, and then the x minus 6 squared. So you would have a y plus 4 equals a 1/24 x minus 6 squared. And yes, absolutely, you could subtract the 6 to both sides. Let's try one more like that. Let me give it to you to try on your own. Example 7. Give me the equation of the parabola whose focus is at -3, -1, and whose vertex is -3, -4. Remember, you're going to need the p in order to make that work. Pause the video while you try that. A quick sketch shows you that the focus, if it's on -3, -1, it would be right about here. And the vertex of -3, -4 would be right about here. So you know the directrix is going to be down here, and you're going to have a parabola. This distance is what you're looking for. That's the p. So between -4 and -1, there are 3 units. Now plug it into the equation. Y minus -4 equals 1 over 4 times p. P is 3. And then x minus -3 squared. Again, make sure you're using the vertex and the p and that you're not accidentally using the focus. So y plus 4 equals 1/12 x plus 3. All right, watch this video again if you're feeling a bit confused. If you think you've got it, go ahead and try the homework from page 411.